A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, it is a period of venturing into unknown territory, as one man's seemingly mundane trip out to meet his girlfriend's parents quickly turns into a nightmare that keeps dragging him down deeper and deeper into that sunken place at the back of his mind. In his directorial debut, Jordan Peele turns the camera on a wretched hive of scum, villainy, and neoliberalism. How is one intrepid young photographer meant to escape this? He could always listen to the ancestors and get out. This is a discussion of a movie that was rated R for depictions of violence, both physical and mental, racism, and depictions of smoking. Please proceed according to your needs and comfort level. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views expressed therein are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of their employers. Hello there, and welcome back to 6 Degrees of Star Wars, the podcast where we explore all the ways George Lucas's flagship franchise surrounds us, binds us, and penetrates us in the landscape of cinema. I'm your host, Sam Marchioni. Joining me today, Shamila Karanakran.
All I know is sometimes there's too many white people. I get nervous, you know.
And Todd B.
I just want to let you all know, I'd have voted for Baron Administrator Calrissian a third time if I could.
I mean, you're more on point than you know, given that Donald Glover counts as one of our degrees.
Ooh, good catch. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, hang on a second. Ire, come on out, buddy.
Greetings, I am IER-60, the biggest knight in Star Wars Connections. Point of intersection found. This is a degree 4. Stephen Root played Luther Peele in The Book of Boba Fett. Additional Oscar material found. Get out one for Best Original Screenplay at the 90th Academy Awards.
Man, I got both really unlucky and really lucky. I missed the initial window to see Get Out in theaters, and so I kind of got it spoiled for me, but not enough that I actually knew what was going on, and then I got lucky that AMC was doing its see your favorites on the big screen again, so I saw Get Out in cinemas for like $5 a couple years ago, and let me tell you, oh my god, it still hits. Having watched it again for today's episode, oh my god, it still hits.
Still hits.
Speaking of the theater, I still have a very clear memory of saw this opening weekend. Without getting too far ahead, I will just say, the ending of the movie, you could sense both the collective tensing up and the subsequent collective unclenching as everybody realized that reveal.
Yeah, especially when you consider, like, what Jordan Peele originally wanted to do versus what the test audiences said. And apparently there were other alternative endings as well, like one where Rod shows up and it's too late.
Oh, but it makes sense that, like, especially this was around the time with Trayvon Martin and, like, George Martin and all the others. Yeah, you don't want to see that happen because real life is already bleak enough as it is. We want something more, want a bit more catharsis.
Yeah, and that was the exact thing I think people were raised for. Is like they saw the police officers was like, "Oh no, don't you!" And then as soon as Rod comes out again, you could sense the collective everyone's sigh of relief.
Yep. Honestly, as I was writing my Letterboxd review for this, I ended up putting this in my Letterboxd review. I'm like, there is nothing I can put in here that doesn't make me sound like one of the Armitage family members. And then I felt like I needed to go take a shower, like several showers. But sorry to any listeners where we kind of just spoiled the ending of a 10-year-old, well, not 10 years old, but 9 years old, and also Get Out did kind of enter the popular lexicon, the sunken place became a thing, pop cultural osmosis is a healthy drug, etc.
They even do it in some, like, in, like, some TV episodes. I know that, Chainsaw Man did a homage to it, and then Blackish did a whole thing about whole gag about the sunken place.
And somewhat regrettably earlier this year, that was all over those Scary Movie trailers.
Yep.
But, you know, Jordan Peele just, he knocked it out of the park, and the fact that this is his directorial debut, like, oh my god. I've seen people arguing for the whole auteur theory needs to end. I think it was River who called for the death of the writer-director, and on some level, valid. Hi, River. On the other hand, can we modify it to, we need the death of the white male writer-director, and also, honestly, white cis female writer-director. Go away, Emerald Fennell!
Let's put it as, like, it's a probationary basis. It can be revoked if abused.
Yeah.
But I am happy to keep letting Jordan Peele do whatever the fuck he wants.
Mm-hmm. Like, he really
Agreed.
chose that line between, like, comedy and horror. Like, he has that sense of timing and the rhythm, and you can tell that his, like, comedy background is, like, integral to how the film is approaching tension and reveals.
I mean, I was pretty sold on this just from before the trailers even dropped, just because of, if you go back and watch like some of the Key and Peele stuff, especially like their Halloween episodes, you can see he's already got a good handle on how to work in horror elements as well as humor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, he is like high-fiving Ira Levin from the grave, like all the shout-outs to the Stepford Wives and Rosemary's Baby.
And, you know, we're coming off a pretty recent Hitchcock. There's absolutely some Hitchcock in there, too. He's doing, like, some oneers. He's doing that whole element of, like, oh, we know that a bomb's gonna go off. We know that a bomb's gonna go off. When's the bomb gonna go off?
Also, in a I'd have two nickels moment, this will now be the second time in a row I've been on where it's also turned into a shout-out for John Frankenheimer's Seconds, because if that was not also an inspiration on this movie, I will eat my proverbial hat.
I don't know that one.
It kind of goes in that similar idea of aging people who are basically given the opportunity at a new life, where it's, you are basically put into a hole in their body, and there's a complete rewriting of who you were.
Speaking of that, like, the one Asian guy at the silent auction, you are not exempt from all of this. We had a whole thing about it in Mississippi Masala.
I'm convinced I'm convinced the one Asian guy was a Rosemary's Baby shout out, because there's like the one Japanese member of the Coven at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, commentary just out the wazoo. I also ended up watching the Everything Great About video just to make sure. I was taking copious notes, but I also wanted to make sure that sometimes Lee Cinema Wins catches stuff I don't. Like, he went through and he took the time to translate, or at least grab a translation of the Swahili that gets sung.
Listen to your ancestors.
Run away. Listen to the messenger. Get out. Get out. Get out!
That's going to be fun for all the Swahili speakers in the audience.
Yeah, kind of like Trevor Noah running up at the 2019 Oscars and doing like
Growing up as a young boy in Wakanda, I would see King T'Challa flying over our village, and he would remind me of a great Xhosa phrase, "Abelungu abayazi bandiaqoka," which means, in times like these, we are stronger when we fight together than when we try to fight apart.
And what he actually said was, white people don't know that I'm lying. I appreciate writers who get cheeky with bilingualness.
Agreed.
And also, in reviewing everything for this, I'm like, God damn, Daniel Kaluuya was robbed, and now I'm like, oh shit, is Daniel Kaluuya was robbed for an Oscar this year I would have voted for Obama a third time?
Oh, no!
He did finally get his due, even if it was in a really weird way.
Yeah, the whole Judas and the Black Messiah thing. I made a note of that. It's like, in a couple of years, I'm gonna plot to kill you, and you're gonna win an Oscar. When Keith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya are on screen together, but...
And again, it's Kaluuya going to be best supporting because no one's going to cross Chad Winnick except, oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Chadwick.
R.I.P. Chadwick.
But, like, by that same token, like, do you remember who won this year instead of Daniel Kaluuya? It was Gary fucking Oldman in a stupid-ass Winston Churchill biopic where he was wearing a fat suit. It was very much one of those stupid fucking career Oscars, and you're like, are you shitting me?
This is like Stephanie Hsu being robbed all over again. Also, I keep forgetting, this not only is this like pre-Daniel Kaluuya songs, this is like pre this is like pre-beard. Like I see him without the beard, and it's like I have to do a double take.
Yeah, I think he looks cute even without the beard.
This kind of made me do a double take because I had actually seen him in a role before this. I had not connected the dots on until looking back and was going, wait, this was that guy I remember seeing Sicario and going, keep an eye on this guy because I'm curious if I've seen him before. And it's like, wow, this was right before he broke out.
Yep.
Before he was Obi Brown.
Also,
I'm
yes.
not doing that again.
Yes.
Also,
Daniel Kaluuya is incredible, and I love him. He's also really funny. Like, one of my favorite things to do is every so often I will go back and I will watch the SNL Proud Parents sketch that is him and Ego Nwodim, and they're playing two immigrant African parents, and it is so fucking funny.
An award? Can you pay the bills with an award?
Will you buy a house with an award?
Promising young writer. Who promised you what?
Yeah, I was looking through all the what ifs and what could have beens, and apparently, like, Kid Cudi auditioned for the role of Chris. So I do not know how that would turn out.
I mean, he did get his good horror role eventually. Just, I don't know, I feel like Kaluuya was the better fit for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do also think, like, it was definitely a thing to have Chris be, like, the darkest-skinned black person
Yeah.
in the mix. Mm-hmm. Like, even as we're kind of going through what Jordan Peele calls her Roro, as we're going through, like, her trophies, like, even then, Chris kind of stands out a little bit.
Yeah, like, every black person in, like, all the pictures that we see, they're all lighter skinned than him.
And Peele also, like, takes really good advantage of that. Like, when Chris goes out before the scene with the sunken place, like, full advantage of the moon is the blue spotlight in Moonlight, black boys look blue stuff. I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. That's so pretty. And then it gets segued right into a, Jesus fuck, why is this guy running towards me?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And again, when we get to the explanation on that, one thing I will always give Peele from a screenwriting perspective is the first time you watch the scene where Chris meets the Armitages, it's just straightforward, and then you go back and look and you realize, like, at no point during that scene at all are they lying to Chris, but it's like, once you understand the context of what they're saying, it's like, oh.
It's so fucked up. It's so creepy. It's like, oh, we keep a little piece of mom in the kitchen. Do you now?
Do you?
There's you can't go into the basement, there's black mold down there. Ooh!
Oh!
Isn't it so great to experience another person's culture?
Oh!
And this was doing nothing to reduce the amount of ick that I was feeling, because I mentioned I was having that, oh shit, am I the Armitages? My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, not an Armitage in the sense that he is a Republican, he was friends with Elder Bushes, he was very much a hunting and guns guy, and he actually, for a while, a lot of how he made his money was going out to handle overpopulation of prey animals in wild areas.
Oh, yeah, and then you see the parallels with, like, with the deer, and, Dean ranting about, oh god, and a lot of his ranting about the deer sounds like ethnic cleansing.
It absolutely does. And, like, even knowing, like, buck could be used as a slur for a black man.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then they have that whole history of coon hunting. I am Canadian, I still know about this.
Yeah. But, like, it all works so good. It all works so well to be building up this stuff. And I think it's really interesting to especially watch the movie with an eye on Rose, because I didn't get to have the experience of, oh, Rose is still on Chris's side initially, because that part was pretty effectively spoiled for me. But that also meant that you can really just see the layers of performativity that Allison Williams is putting into this to become, like, the uber Karen.
Oh, yeah, especially when she was, it looked like she was trying to defend Chris when the cops were trying to see his ID, but she does not want them to know his ID, because, like, if he disappears, then that's a loose end that they're gonna have to follow through.
Yep.
I mean, not that the cops in this movie end up being all that effective and we have to rely on TS motherfucking A.
Uh-huh. I mean, Rod was technically not wrong about any of it, not even about the sex slavery thing, because we do see like an old lady like grope at Chris's arm.
And
Is it true what they say? I'm like, God!
I mean, definitely also the implication with Lakeith Stanfield's character there.
Yeah. And with that, that was like one of the few times I was like doing the full yelling at the screen. I'm like, why didn't you say he's using a different name? Why didn't you say he's calling himself Logan King now? Like, I feel like if he had done that, maybe that would have gotten the cops' attention a little bit more than, oh, haha, look at funny TSA man telling us weird conspiracy theory. But then again, if that worked, we wouldn't have movie the way we need to have movie.
And again, it's kind of that's that whole conceit with Rod where it is just, again, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this.
His head's in the clouds. He connects the dots a bit differently.
It's like, and if anything, it is such a out there scenario that it's almost fitting that the guy who would go to that extreme winds up being the one to actually nail it in one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
The scene with him and Rose on the phone is fucking incredible, because it is very much both of them are playing 3D chess with the way Rose is keeping her face perfectly straight as she's doing this absolutely distressed and really high-pitched voice, because I'm so worried about Chris. I don't know what happened, and I'm worried that the whole reason she was able to figure out what he was doing is because he took so long going, this bitch! I know this bitch is lying! But also, like, the people at the party. I know that behind the scenes, Jordan Peele directed them to look at Chris like they were vampires preparing.
Yes. This is not like. Oh, I know this is like pre-Sinners, but the parallels keep paralleling.
Up to and including the fact that Jordan Peele and Ryan Coogler are the only black people to have a Best Original Screenplay Oscar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were nominated for the exact same awards.
Mm-hmm.
And again, two people who kind of broke the Academy's famously kind of reluctant view towards horror.
Yeah. The 2025 Oscars were kind of the horror Oscars.
Yeah, we got the big
Frankenstein and Sinners and
Weapons.
But the thing that keeps killing me is, did the Armitages brief anybody on subtlety at all?
They're rich white people. They're not subtle. They don't do subtlety.
I mean, the implications they've been getting away with it this long, so I could see why there would also be a cockiness to it.
Yeah, especially we do learn that like Rose's grandfather was founded in his generation. This is like because he was pissed that he lost to Jesse Owens for the 1936 Olympics.
Not even the Olympics, the Olympic qualifiers.
Here. Like, you do know that you're no different from Adolf Hitler, right? Because if you know your history, then you know what was going on during that time with eugenics and the Aryan race. But yeah, Jesse Owens won in 4 events, and yeah, that kind of disproved the whole theory. But obviously, Grandpa Armitage is no different from him.
Some men will engage in a highly unethical and criminal form of medical science before they go to therapy.
What's creepy to me, it was like the stupid like 80s video that they played made it sound like he'd actually not been the one to found it, but that this whole weird eugenics body snatching plot had actually been going on longer, because they were talking about like this sacred order, and I'm like, oh my god, are these the fucking Christmas Avengers or whatever?
This is absolutely oh wait, I had a thing about it. Like, it's literally like the mind transfer procedure is like it's called the coagula procedure. Like, aside from the obvious relevance, the Latin word is what most people know as like solve and coagula, which is solve and aggregate. So apparently Jordan Peele said that the Armitage cult is descended from the Templars, so it's like the knightly order founded during the Crusades and then violently suppressed a few centuries later. And then they were accused of worshipping the demon Behemoth. So if you look up the depiction of Baphomet, the one by Elphias Levi, it's a human-bodied, goat-headed figure with 2 words tattooed on its arms, solve and coagula.
Wait, isn't that the same statue that gets put at the Satanic Temple and, like, was used for protests about putting the Ten Commandments on city buildings?
I want to say yes.
Question. Yeah.
I think that's also, like, the same one that the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina used on Netflix and got into some trouble with the Satanic Temple for that.
Oh, no.
So that's funny, but also, like, that does explain more of Jeremy's weird fucking getup when he's capturing Dre at the beginning of the movie.
Ugh. Also, this is, like, not like necessarily a language thing, but the word coagula kind of sounds like Caligula, and he was famous for removing the heads of statues of gods and replacing them with his own.
Yeah.
And with the attention to detail in the script, there is just a plausibility of, no, maybe that was also in mind.
There's literally nothing in this script that wasn't fucking deliberate.
He does it again in, like, Us as well, because he's pretty well known for this, because both Get Out and Us are movies that you have to watch multiple times, because you'll see, like, bits of foreshadowing that you haven't seen before. Like, I had a bunch of notes down here. Where is it? Where?
Actually, don't tell me anything about Us, because I'm
not telling anything about Us.
Yes, listeners, I haven't seen Us yet. It is sitting on my DVD shelf. I'm going to get to it. I know Lupita is amazing. Lupita's always amazing. That's a fact.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
And another case of, okay, what does someone have to do to get an Oscar nomination? Because that's a two-hander she pulls off spectacularly. I'll leave it at that.
Uh-huh. She's like on par with Michael B. Jordan.
We do remember Lupita has an Oscar, right?
Yeah, but for Best Supporting Actress, and it was like for, 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
And also, again, this was coming off there was a chain of several years of, okay, there's an actress doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, also, there's an actress doing a killer job in a horror movie, but because it's a horror movie, it's not going to get noticed.
Oh, right, the whole Toni Collette thing.
Toni Collette, Florence Pugh, and yes, Lupita.
But anyways, one of the things that you really don't catch the first time, like Georgina is always fussing with her bangs, like Walter is never seen without the baseball caps, and Logan is also never seen without his hat. Though they were doing that specifically to hide the brain transplant scars.
I never connected that dot before, but damn, that's good.
Also, Georgina's hair being relaxed.
Oh god, you can tell.
Yeah.
And also just so unflattering for her. Like, that is a white lady haircut that has been slapped onto a black woman with little regard for whether or not it actually looks good on her.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I need to ask, is Daniel Kaluuya just able to do that to his eyes? Like, is he just able to turn them red?
Apparently he was able to do that. Like, he was able to cry on scene, and then, like, the single tear down his face was done so perfectly in each take. That's what got him cast.
I hope he's got a good I'm sure he does have a good optometrist, but damn!
That is we knew you were good, but even then, that is impressive.
One of the things that is funniest to me about this movie is that Rose uses Bing.
I'd forgot about this rewatch.
Yeah,
that's the mark of a maniac.
Hurrying Fruit Loops dry and like following it up with a sip of milk.
So, like, I have definitely had dry cereal as a snack in the same way that one has, like, trail mix as a snack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is specifically in how she is eating. She's deliberately drinking a white substance separately from a bowl of colored cereal. You can connect the dots right here.
Yeah.
Complete with right down to the needle drop.
Uh-huh. Mm. Like, she doesn't even, eat only, when she's doing that, she's taking a single Fruit Loop and biting a piece off. She's not even eating the whole thing, and then she, deliberately takes several sips of milk. So it's like a small bit of color that's heavily outweighed by the white. Just like how the Armitages want black people just for their bodies, but controlled by white minds.
Fucking white people. I'm a white people and fucking white people.
I brought up in the chat to bring it up here again. One of those things that still surprised me, a phrase I never thought I'd say before this movie came along. Sinister Stephen Root.
Yes. Which he is our degree for here.
Like, for a guy who is so often cast as, like, these bumbling comedic figures, he takes a couple of scenes and he is genuinely chilling. That is impressive.
Yeah. It also, like... I don't want to be, like, ableism, like, making it into, you know, the blind guy is the bad guy, but, like, because the Armitages are the bad guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything else, is like, it's more they're two separated from the others in terms of he is not leering at Chris the same way because he can't.
Mm-hmm. It kind of, there is this, like, GIF set on Tumblr where it's comparing, like, I want your eyes, I want your perspective to, like, how Remick in Sinners is going, like, I want your songs, I want your stories.
That's not how any of this works, motherfucker!
Yeah, it's like, that is one where it does work for that path of, like, prior to that, he's just talking to Chris as, like, it seems like it's just a place of respect, and finding out, like, no, he's just as bad as the others, he's just coming at it from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm. It really shows that even, like, the way, like, white liberals think, and, like, that sort of condescending compassion, and sort of, like, almost to the point of fetishizing, black people, is just as bad as, like, the outwardly racist, rhetoric. It's kind of fitting, like, even though I know this was filmed in Alabama, but Jordan Peele said this story wasn't supposed to be set in the South. He wanted to avoid, like, the stereotypes and put the film's racism within, like, the liberal social environment.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't hide anything about... This was in New York. Even at the end, Rod's car says TSA of New York.
Again, I'm Canadian. I don't know that much about, like, U.S. geography.
You do know where New York is, right?
East Coast?
It's where Mira Nair's son is like, in charge now.
I know that much at least.
Northeast, yeah. It's like, and a whole bunch of white guys still have not gotten over it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Massachusetts and a whole bunch of white people still haven't gotten over the fact that our mayor is Asian and our governor is a lady.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like the vice mayor, the vice mayor's first lady, the vice mayor and the first lady are like black and Jewish respectively. I know this because like Lacey Schwartz Delgado, she like did a documentary called Little White Lies.
And like I'm not gonna pretend that any Massachusetts politicians are immune from this, like far from it. I can absolutely see a lot of the bougie-ass white people in the place where I grew up being at this fucking auction. Like, having that whole bit about Tiger Woods, absolutely them.
Yeah.
Also, like, speaking of white audiences, fuck the idea that that Rose was a victim instead of a perpetrator, because Allison Williams said herself, she was absolutely complicit. Like, she was the one looking up potential victims and bringing them to the Armitage's house.
They basically completely do away with any notion that, with the moment where she goes, "You were one of my favorites."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there is that, like, tendency to, like, impose, like, white savior tropes onto, like the quote-unquote one good white person in the movie. But, yeah, Jordan Peele didn't want any of that.
And I mean, I think that's a testament to Allison Williams' performance, that she's able to sell the deception so well.
Mm-hmm. She goes like a...
She just didn't account for people being dumbasses, because media literacy is continuously dying.
This rewatch is the first time we watched, like, watching her conversation with Chris going, how many times do you think she has had this exact conversation with previous...
Yeah. And then she, like... she was talking to Chris's, I forget if it was a dog or a cat, but she's saying, I'm gonna need you to, like, pry something out of your dad. They are specifically prying his mind
Pupper.
out. Yeah.
Sid.
Yeah.
It is a good pupper. I headcanon that his name is Sid in honor of Sidney Poitier.
Yes, we accept this.
I like that.
But yeah, how could you miss, like, you see her shifting from, like, this warm, bubbly girlfriend to, like, she's, like, literally in a hunting uniform and chasing Chris down with a rifle. And she literally hanging like all the photos of her ex-partners on her wall, like hunting trophies. Like, you cannot tell me that she is not complicit.
Yeah, the argument that I see people make is like, oh, well, you know, her mom hypnotized her into doing it. I'm like, motherfucker.
That is not how the second place
well
works.
the hypnosis actually measures up. You think there hasn't been one camera flash around Roro in the entirety of the time she's been dating Chris?
Mm-hmm. Like, he's literally a photographer. That's what brings him out of it. Like, breaks him out of it, because we do have that scene where, like, Andre is like, we get that camera flash, and for an instance, Andre gets control back, and, like, he's, like, lunging at Chris in a really visceral way. She's screaming, "Get out!" That is, like, terrifying, and, like... Ugh.
Also, it's like, it just, logistically, it doesn't make sense that she'd be being controlled, because that would require that Missy puts an insane amount of programming into this. It just doesn't make any sense.
Like, we clearly see, like, Rose isn't vulnerable to, like, that little tell that Missy does when she's doing the hypnotism. Like, she's like, taps her spoon at on the rim of the cup. Like, that kind of sound is, like, everywhere when you go out to restaurants.
Yeah.
There is no way that Rose was subject to that.
And she's in the fucking 80s promotional video.
Yep.
She is only a victim insofar as she has been raised in it, but at a certain point you stop being, oh, I was raised in it, and you become complicit in it.
It becomes the Hannibal Lecter observing or participating, and she chose participate.
It's very much the ones who walk away from Omelas.
Also, now that I think about it, like, they did not undo the hypnosis, so is Chris gonna be, like sent to the second place every time he hears, like, a spoon clink?
I mean, I feel like I hate to say it, Chris is not gonna be alright for a number of reasons for a while after this. That is just on the list.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he'll be able to, like, invest in noise-canceling headphones. He's gonna be right on the cusp of, like, Loop becoming super popular.
But speaking of the sunken place, like, I saw this quote, like, about Jordan Peele, like, describing the sunken place. Like, he developed the concept from the sensation of, like, falling as one drifts to sleep, from the idea of being trapped as an observer behind one's own eyes while one's body is being controlled by someone else. And in the same interview, he connected that idea to themes of abduction and as a metaphor to the prison industrial complex.
Which, considering how he originally wanted to end, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Also, the sunken place and, like, what happens to all its victims, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Nikki's situation in Obsession. We won't go into spoilers, but there's a reason there are so many comparison gift sets.
Well, that's fun for me. That's something to see in my notifications on Tumblr for the next 2 weeks. What a good movie. What a good movie.
Again, he's 3 for 3 right now, and I'm very intrigued to see where he goes from here.
Yeah. No, now I kind of want to see him and Nia DaCosta, like, do either a version of Rosemary's Baby or Stepford Wives, because I did not want my first introduction to, like, Rosemary's Baby to be the Roman Polanski film. I ended up seeing the Zoe Saldana miniseries, and
you have my sympathies.
Yeah. I want a better version of that.
Hey, Roman Polanski, this is a joke, but please shuffle off this mortal coil so I can watch stuff you made without feeling weird about it, or at least feeling less weird about it.
No, that's a fair
cop. For legal reasons, this is a joke.
But, you know, I'm still convinced that miniseries version, the people behind it, they initially signed on thinking they were going to be remaking The Omen, and they found out that wasn't the case. They're like, we'll do it live. Because all those set pieces felt like, no, you got the wrong Devil Child movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, another, like, absolute masterstroke of this was casting Bradley Whitford, because given Bradley Whitford's big claim to fame above everything else is the fucking West Wing.
I have not seen the West Wing, so I don't know the context for this.
Okay, so, Shami, to give you a very, very brief overview, the West Wing follows the most idealized liberal milquetoast fantasy where politicians play by the rules and everything can be solved by just walking and talking in a hallway and making some big speech, brought to you by Aaron Sorkin. It was also hugely influential. It's one of Lin-Manuel Miranda's favorite shows, and you can kind of see it in how he approaches the politique of Hamilton.
There are some interesting video essays about the arguable political damage that show has done.
Yeah. We may talk about it at one point, because in the final season, Jimmy Smits is playing a congressman who is basically Obama.
Oh, I've heard about that part. Everything else, like, I do not want to be cursed with approximate knowledge.
To be clear, Jimmy Smits is hot in season 7 of The West Wing. I am only human. He's playing a hot young congressman from Texas, and I'm like, I am not fully immune to propaganda. And if he and his wife, played by Terry Polo, smash, good for them. But God, season 7 of The West Wing is just so fucking weird.
I mean, it
for
kind of
so
makes
many
sense
reasons.
then, because Bradley Whitford said like years afterward he played that I would have voted for Obama a third time. He played it completely sincere.
Yeah, and then Bradley Whitford will go and do things like The Handmaid's Tale. I'm like, I'm not sure if you fully got the message of Get Out if you're doing The Handmaid's Tale. Just because the whole thing about The Handmaid's Tale is it's literally just appropriating what was done to black women and indigenous women already, and it's like, but what if also it happened to white women?
Yeah, they like to shoehorn white people into like different movements. Like the Stonewall movie is just enough said.
Roland!
Ooh, yeah.
I'm gonna get you, Roland Emmerich. I'm gonna get you, and you're gonna pay.
I mean, his career's already pretty much, yeah. If you saw Moonfall, I think the world's already...
You can never count out a white guy in the entertainment industry. Johnny Depp is orchestrating a comeback.
Ew!
Ty, I am very disappointed in you.
Yeah.
On the plus side, he'll probably flame out again because there is no crime in Hollywood worse than wasting other people's money, and Depp excelled at that.
Yeah, which, it ends up, like, the other side of that is somebody like Daniel Kaluuya, who can be such a phenomenal actor, but his projects are much fewer and further between. And you're like, are you shitting me? He should be getting booked and busy 24/7. But on the other hand, you're like, well, fewer projects means more bangers, statistically.
I mean,
but you still need like multiple projects in order to stay visible, stay relevant, because otherwise you're not going to be cast for like future projects.
Yeah.
Like for a movie that people kind of forgot about, he is one of the standouts in Steve McQueen's Widows.
Oh yeah, him and Viola Davis.
And again, especially because like that is a side I don't think I've seen Kaluuya put in a movie before, but that is presence.
Am I thinking of a different thing that has Alfre Woodard in it?
No. Describe.
It's a different crime drama that is Clemency. That's what I'm thinking.
That's the one. Yeah.
A different, extremely talented and dignified black actress in a crime drama.
We can have multiple of those.
Yes, we can. What a novel concept.
And of course, in Hollywood rules,
but they were
we
coming
got
out
two
right around the same time.
Oh god, that's right. That was close proximity.
Oh yeah. It reminds me of like that
2018. One came out in 2019.
Yeah, it reminds me of that whole Hidden Fences nonsense.
It's a conspiracy, I tell ya. I mean, it's not a conspiracy. It's just fucking racism. But as we've demonstrated in watching this movie, racism can often feel like a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially if your name is Rod and you're trying to convince a bunch of cops that your friend might be getting trafficked into becoming a sex slave.
Mm-hmm. The Rod stands for Ride or Die.
Also, speaking of Rod, one of those areas where I got an hand to Peele in terms of he sets up what would be the obvious version and then he doesn't go with it. You can see in a lesser movie, he would show up just in time to get shot.
No, and I love when that trope gets averted. We know dead black dudes here. Although, well, technically, yeah.
But in this case, more of it's the dead best friend, which again, subverted.
Also, thank God, no dead dog. I do kind of wish Sid could have come over and bitten Rose, like, at least once, but at the same time, getting left to die on the ground is what Rose
because not only was Rose getting off on being, like, strangled, like, she was counting on, like, Chris to kill her, because there is this whole thing about, like, oh, you're finally unleashing your true nature, that kind of stuff. It was, like, quote-unquote violence, on, like...
confirmation bias.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And, like, no,
But Sid should have been allowed to pee on her.
Yeah, that would have been better. You could have peed on her, like, left to die in the woods, and final indignity gets peed on.
Drag her out to die alongside the deer. God, that whole setup of the deer and then the reveal of his mom dying in a hit and run, that's some fucking art right there.
Yeah!
I hope this movie is getting taught in screenwriting classes. I mean, God forbid, I'm never going back to higher education. It is a scam and a scheme, and oh my God, I have so much student debt. But God, I hope future film students that if you are reading screenplays in a screenwriting class, you are reading Jordan Peele's Get Out.
I mean, bare minimum, at least for, like, in terms of genre screenwriting, oh yeah, this is an immaculate horror script.
Even outside the realm of genre, the levels of detail that go into this.
And it's the idea of, like, this also one of those classic issues with so many films where it's like, it's famous for the twist of the once you know it, the movie's kind of ruined. This is one where it avoids that because you catch so much on the rewatches.
It's also, like, it works really well in foreign language dubs, like, I was reading this earlier, like, the French dub, like, adds a layer of condensation to the Armitage's behavior, because French language has, like, 2 second-person pronouns, like, tu and vous. Like, vous is usually formal, polite, is usually used to address a single person you aren't acquainted with too well, and using tu with a stranger is considered rude, unless the stranger is a child. So, the French dub has Dean addressing Chris with tu, and Chris answers with vous, but they both should be using vous, because this is their first meeting. And in France, the scene with a white person using tu to speak to a black person they barely know, it's also emblematic of racism and paternalistic condensation, and considering, like, France's colonial history...
What do you mean that Haiti had to pay back the French? What? No, France isn't racist. Look, they gave the United States a big statue to say, yay, you finally ended slavery. They're not racist. Nah. Look, I'm not immune to Francophilia. I adore Paris. I'm not going to pretend France doesn't have some shit going on down there.
Yeah.
France at least gave us Alexandre Dumas, a badass.
Now, please, for the love of God, cast a Black Count of Monte Cristo.
Regé-Jean Page, we're counting on your version! Although, you do, like, coming from, like, the perspective as an Asian person, like, that's the scene where, like, Missy is using the teacup, specifically the tea. Like, throughout history, like, tea has been a symbol of colonialism, you know, with, like, powerful, like, white European countries, suppressing, like, Asian populations and Asian and African populations to get, like, certain, like, materials to trade it to amass wealth. And, like, there's also the idea of, like, being highborn with a silver spoon. It's like an idiom used to, like, regarding the privileges afforded to people who have enjoyed wealth as an advantage their whole life. Totally applies to the Armitages.
It is the perfect counter-argument to people like David Benioff and D.B. Weiss going like, themes are for 8th grade book reports. Themes are for art!
Yeah, Benioff and Weiss, and look where that got them.
Ha ha. Ha ha.
I continue to be fascinated at just how the rise and fall of that career arc.
Honestly, I would love to see what Jordan Peele could do with a Star Wars. Like, I totally get him wanting to preserve his autonomy. I don't want to know what Disney would do to him in this situation. It is still a fucking miracle to me that Ryan Coogler has managed to, in large part, maintain his creative autonomy. But Ryan Coogler is much an outlier in that regard. Like, poor Ava DuVernay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of part of why I'm kind of glad when Peele was up for like live action Akira when it didn't go through. I did wonder if part of that was him basically looking at the studio and going, I know what you want to do, and I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Yeah. Shame, though, because I think he could do some really cool stuff with it, given the chance. Or,
oh, yeah.
even if he just wanted to make his own sci-fi, he's kind of done that both with this and with his other horror films, and horror and sci-fi kind of
his Twilight Zone reboot as well.
Regard. Yeah, but I want to see him do, like, science fantasy, which is closer to what Star Wars is. Which is why we're allowed to have fire make noise in space, guys. I will avenge you, the Acolyte.
And now I'm trying to picture, again, Peele, that's the candidate, what aspect do you think you would focus on?
I think if I were gonna see Peele do a Star Wars, I'd probably want to see him, like, focus on people who don't have the Force. I think Jordan Peele is absolutely the director you would want to get if you wanted to make a movie about, I'm just trying to live my normal fucking life and the Skywalker family drama is ruining it.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, one of the things about Jordan Peele that makes him so cool is that he latches onto stuff you would not think about and then makes these whole movies out of them. And it's also, like, total bro move in sponsoring / supporting Dev Patel and making Monkey Man.
Yes!
Wow.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Jordan Peele was also one of the directors that was being courted by J.J. Abrams when the Bad Robot deal was supposed to go through, but that's deep lore for another time.
I mean, given the timeline, I would believe it in terms of trying to get him on board, so.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Justice for Georgina and her hair.
Indeed. Because you know they weren't washing it right either.
No.
All right. Time to ask. Is the Force with it?
Absolutely.
Very much so.
We'll make it unanimous. And I'm recycling this joke from the Miss Juneteenth episode, but I am not melanated enough to make the jokes I want to make, so we're just gonna say Force is with it.
Yep.
We're all in agreement. If you haven't seen Get Out, number one, why the fuck did you just listen to us talking about this for almost an hour? Go see Get Out.
And sorry for the spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
You're still gonna have a fun time, though.
Yeah, watch it, wait 5 to 7 business days to recover from it, then watch it again. You'll be surprised at what you missed.
During those 5 to 7 business days, hey, watch Us and Nope.
And then for a little extra bonus, watch Monkey Man.
Also, yes.
Yeah.
And on that note, who has Pluggables?
Most of what I got to plug right now is I have been working through a side project called 52 Pickup, which has basically been my 52 first-time watches this year and writing impressions on them. Most recent entry as of this recording was the Japanese racing movie Redline, and coming up next week is going to be the John Waters movie Pecker, and I had to stop myself from putting it as, next week I will be writing about John Waters' Pecker.
Incredible.
You can find me on the online muse on Tumblr. I make all the graphics for this podcast and for our sister podcast, Niche Retelling. If you like my work and want to commission me, come hit me up.
And in the spirit of Star Wars, to be there for the people who need us, this episode is spotlighting the Black TV and Film Collective. Created in 2015 and given 501c3 status in 2017, the same time this movie released, this group spans across 5 major media centers in North America to provide resources and opportunities to Black filmmakers from all over the world. The link can be found in the description, as well as on my various socials at Demisem. Our theme music is provided by Refractory Period, the 2 girls, 1 beat synth pop sensation. You can follow them on Instagram at Refractory Period, the band. To further support this podcast, please subscribe to us on your platform of choice, leave reviews, and share with your friends to boost our visibility, and consider joining Patreon. And now, it's time to turn to the Chance Cube to see where our journey takes us next.
Is that
like a one.
Sam?
Yeah?
You know how we had Oops All Lesbians last time?
Yeah?
I think Ellie accidentally cast black magic again because it's shaping up to be Oops All Oscars!
You're kidding me. I mean, I don't know how you'd get to that conclusion. Next, we're doing Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Exactly!
Well, we'll see you all next time, everybody. Until then, stay safe, stay strong, stay beautiful. May the Force be with you.